I'm here, I swear. Joyous time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today we are talking about incense in the book, The Witch's Book of Self-Care by Erin Murphy Hiscock. Come on. Wanted to say hello to Madame Ansa and hello to Amelia. If you are unaware, Madame Ansa has a wonderful tarot channel. She made her own deck called the World Spirit Tarot, and she is probably the most knowledgeable person about tarot that I know. Most definitely, actually, now that I think about it. I'm gonna do some things. Do we want to do the grounding ritual? Do we want to do the grounding thing? Hopefully my coffee is drinkable. Not yet. Ow. Hello, my friends. I'm going to go ahead and do it, I think. I'd like to start this morning with a grounding ritual to start your day. This starts near your domain. If you've not created a domain, you might want to sign up for my newsletter, which is linked below in the description. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. As you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take a third deep breath in, and as you do so, imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. It enters at the top of your head and it spreads down over your face, neck, shoulders. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow of soothing energy entering from your head and passing out through the arches of your feet. You are just outside the door of your domain. The air is crisp and cool. The evergreens sway slightly in the breeze, and the ground has a large patch of moss at your feet. Step barefoot onto the moss. Feel how soft it is. Feel the solid ground underneath. That light coming into your head can now be translated into energy that you can send out your feet. Convert the light into roots and send the roots out the bottoms of your feet and deep into the earth, as deep as you can. The soil is fresh, easy to toil, easy to carve a path down. Feel how anchored you are. How close to the earth. Reach as far down as you can. The earth hugs your roots comfortably, no matter how sharp or curly, no matter how many times they split off. Slowly pull the roots back up the way they came. The roots slither through the dark, the soil filling in its wake. Pull the roots back into your feet, convert it back to the light, and let the light filter through you and out the top of your head. Take one more deep breath in and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we just did our morning grounding ritual. If you are interested in more meditations like this one, but maybe a bit more exploratory, you might want to contact me personally, because my Patreon, I'm running into some wacky stuff with the Patreon thing, but I intend on releasing 2 a month to help you on your supernatural journey. Until then, you can join me for coffee here on YouTube. You just got your first tarot deck last weekend. Congratulations. Welcome to the fold. Hello, and that is exciting. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna pull a card for self-care today. Pulling us a card for self-care today. La Fortress, yes. It is the Valentine's Day Fortress, which will probably be up for a week. I'll try and make it not so long as the Yule one. Okay. The moon reversed. Oh. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Subconscious symbols appear more often than usual, and they are sending mixed messages. You are tuning in to listen to your intuition, but you are unable to receive a clear signal, fraught with noise and interception. The moonlight is creating a hazy effect, highlighting fears and anxiety as you try to decipher the clues. You're caught questioning yourself and your ambitions, filing them under irrational and impractical, when really you are doubting your ability to achieve your dreams. There is a restless energy as you desire to take action to solve your problems, but feel stuck with no clear direction to go forward. Don't give up. Go deep and uncover your core wounds. Break free from your limiting beliefs to free yourself from self-deception. Clarity will come when the time is right. Imposter syndrome. Ginny, Katerina, yay! I need another shave. If I can put my hands through it, it is too long. It is too long. So just keep swimming. Yes, indeed. Right. Incense. Incense is a blend of herbs and or resins that is placed on a piece of smoldering charcoal in a censer or other heat-proof dish to release scent and energy. Incense can be an offering, a way to produce energy sympathetic or supportive to a specific goal or purpose, or simply something to enjoy. Oh, thank you. It is my magic mug. The potter who made this, they've since updated the design of this particular brand, but they do entire dish sets that are holiday themed, like witchy holiday themed. I think this was part of the Ostara set. There's a in bulk set that is like dark purple. It's gorgeous. Except most of the dishes have the name of the holiday on it, which isn't the same thing. If I could get like the mug or the goblet of the in bulk set, that would be cool. But it's all clay. It's all hand thrown stuff. Here are some general notes about incense. Make sure you have about 1 part resin to 1 part green matter. It lasts longer while burning, and the resin has a sweetness that balances the more acrid smell of the herbal matter. If you say so. You can add a few drops of essential oil to your incense blend, but no more than a few. Saturating the herbal matter isn't recommended. Toss the mixture after adding the drops of oil, and then put it in a container and seal it to keep the scent until you need to use the incense. Loose incense is burned on charcoal tablets sold for that purpose, available at ethnic grocery stores, New Age shops, or ecclesiastical supply stores. I got my charcoal discs from the tobacco market because they it's the discs used to spark a hookah, which is the same. It's the same little disc. It's the same one. Hold the tablet with a pair of tweezers or small tongs and hold a flame to the edge. The charcoal will catch, and a series of small red sparks will run across it. After a short while, the surface of the charcoal will begin to glow red. Lay the tablet down gently on a bed of sand, fine gravel, or metal mesh in a heat-proof bowl. When the tablet glows, take a pinch of your incense, blend, and sprinkle it on the charcoal. Smoke will begin to rise. I think mine turns gray. It doesn't turn red. I think it turns gray. Less is more. Too much incense on the tablet can smother it or produce a staggering amount of smoke that you'll have to deal with by opening windows to air out the room. Always have a small fire extinguisher, bottle of water, or bowl of sand nearby to put out the charcoal if necessary. Okay. I can't say I've ever had to do the thing with the, incense blends. Most of these use frankincense or copal as the resin component. Frankincense is an excellent all-purpose resin that possesses energies related to healing, purification, blessing, meditation, serenity, protection, love, and blessing. Golden copal is associated with purification, clearing blockages, blessing, joy, uplifting your mood, and fighting depression. There are different kinds of copal. Use the yellow copal, sometimes called golden copal. White copal can also be used, but it tends to be more expensive. To blend incense. Use a stone mortar and pestle to gently crush the resin if it's not in small granules. I think I threw mine away because I was burning it by itself and I was like, bleh, this is terrible. It did not occur to me that I could combine it with, what is happening here? Let's see. Don't grind too hard or the resin will start to melt and become gummy. Think of cracking the resins instead. Transfer the resins to a small jar or other container. Separately grind the dry herbs or rub them between your fingers to crumble them. Any drops of essential oil, add any drops of essential oil to the dried herbs, stir, and then add the herbs to the container with the resins. Cap and shake gently to combine. Use half a teaspoon at a time, no more. And then it's got a bunch of recipes. I don't think I have another. I think. Oh. I didn't realize we were at the end of the book. So we got Serenity Incense, which is jasmine, frankincense, the copal is the base, and white sandalwood powder. What Martha Stewart bullshit is this? Grounding incense is patchouli, red sandalwood, a teaspoon of red sandalwood. Jesus, where are you supposed to find that? Myrrh resin and 1 drop of vanilla. Joy incense is lemon, orange, bergamot, and ginger. Peace incense is lang lang or gardenia. Lavender, rose petals, and frankincense. And healing incense is amber. The copal is the base, lemon, and orange. And then there's a bibliography and an index. And that's that. Cover to cover. I did English, I know it. I did just acquire chaos magic books. I now have a collection by Peter Carroll. I'm trying to decide if you guys would be interested in going into the chaos magic realm. Some of it can be really crunchy, but yay chaos magic. Because I have Liber Null, Liber Chaos, and Condensed Chaos. So I think Liber Chaos is sitting in the kitchen right now. Let's do it. It's not as like touchy-feely as some of the stuff I've been doing for the past month or so. I definitely want to read them. I just don't know if you guys would be interested in outright chaos theory. That's okay? Okay, I'm going to go get it. We'll begin to the introduction. Arrgh. My opening is getting lower and lower. Well, it's going to be very chaos heavy if we start getting into this stuff. Though I could break into this and then we take a break with Green Witchcraft or the Big Blue Book. Ooh. I'm really excited. All right. Just flipping through the book. Really super excited. This was made in 1992 by Peter J. Carroll. No part of this publication can be reproduced or transmitted in any form. All right. Introduction. This book is in 3 parts. Liber Chaos is an exegesis of magical theory. Exegesis. That is an SAT word if I ever heard one. Although every attempt has been made to present the theory in the simplest of terms, it remains a difficult section. Hopefully it will dissuade the mere casual reader from proceeding further into this book. The Psychonomicon is an extended meditation on ritual and spell objectives and designed for a variety of forms of magic. This book also contains extensive appendices on practical magic and the Pact. If all of humanity's books on engineering were suddenly to dematerialize, serious problems would result within days. Conversely, if all the books on psychology disappeared, it would make very little difference except to psychologists who would count it a blessing. It is my intention that this book be a contribution to the principles of magical engineering. Pope Pete I of Chaos. Our pestilence Pope Pete I of Chaos. Interesting. Liber Chaos. Firstly, Principia Magica on exegesis of magical theory proceeding from cosmology through metaphysics to the equations describing parapsychology, then an exposition of aeonics followed by Principia Chaotica, the rationale or perhaps the irrational of chaos magic in the pandemonium. Pandemonium. So this might be a little crunchy for first thing in the morning. Should I go grab a book that is less crunchy? What do you guys think? Because this sounds like it is for the serious chaos magician, which is peachy keen for me, but for first morning coffee talk, this might be a little crunchy. I can get the Green Witch book or the Big Blue book. Alternate between crunchy and less crunchy. I like crunchy or fluffy, but let's do it. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot that we're doing a group intention for a friend. She's having focus issues, so we're going to bolster her focus. All right. Principia Magica is in 3 parts. The first part, Fiat Nox, contains a brief explanation of relativity and quantum physics, and then posits a theory of cosmogenesis constituting a quantum-based description of this universe and its origin, which argues that magic is both necessary consequence of the structure of this universe and an essential component of it. The second part or stage, Quantum Metaphysics, describes the action of the magical component of reality and the principles by which the magician can manipulate its workings to his or her advantage. This section offers a radical reinterpretation of much traditional magical lore and explains a number of occult effects in terms of previously unrecognized mechanisms. It also suggests a new magical technique, retroactive enchantment, whose existence has been only vaguely suspected until now. The third and final aspect of this study, the equations of magic, presents 3 formulae in which describe the necessary ingredients of any spell or ritual designed to have a parapsychological effect. The equations describe how to do magic, and by implication, how to reduce the chances of failure. They also give a precise indication of how effective an act of magic is likely to be. Magicians without some... Oh, that was weird. Magicians without some knowledge of physical... No, let me try this again. Magicians without some knowledge of physics and mathematics may find parts of Principia Magica rather challenging. I would definitely be that person. However, perseverance is recommended, for this paradigm represents, probably for the first time, a self-consistent metaphysic which elevates magic from a rather hit or miss art, explained by vague ad hoc hypotheses to a potentially objective and quantifiable discipline with its own formulae for probability engineering. An understanding of Principia Magica is not a prerequisite for performing the practical magic in the other sections of this book. However, a theoretical paradigm has 2 values in any system. It suggests possibilities to be explored, and it implies limitations to be investigated and perhaps transcended. In short, it offers a way of organizing the way one thinks about what one is doing practically. Are we still good? Now, granted, my iPad was like, I can't quite hear what you're saying. So something I said was the thing. Bootstrapping the serpent. Oh, it even explains the 5 dimensions of CMT and why the symbol, the chaos symbol, what that means. This is nuts. Yeah? You sure? Because we're getting into Fiat Nox. The 2 theories of relativity and quantum physics on which presents scientific understanding of the universe is based appear to contradict each other. Although each theory has great explanatory power in various situations, the two theories resist integration and cannot be applied simultaneously. Relativity theory, which is a refinement of the classical Newtonian description of a mechanical clockwork type of universe, is based on particles and fields presumed to consist of yet smaller particles. These behave in a continuous, causal, and deterministic fashion. No signal may propagate faster than light speed, and space, time, and mass and energy are continuously subdividable. Quantum theory describes the behavior of matter in terms of probability waves. It is difficult to visualize what this means, but to a rough approximation, it can be said that in the quantum description, reality can only be divided up into certain minimum size pieces or quanta. These quanta exist not as discrete points in space and time, but as waves of probability. Yeah, there we go. Little bits of the universe that not necessarily space and time, but probability. And so we take that probability and put it in our favor. From the relativistic point of view, the wave functions represent the probability of finding a particle at a particular point in space and time. Thus, whereas in relativity theory, matter and energy and space and time are presumed to be infinitely subdividable to account for causality. In quantum theory, any further subdivision beyond the quantization level is achieved by probabilistic distribution of the particle itself. Thus, in the quantum description, a particle can be instantaneously everywhere, although most of its excellence is mainly concentrated at one small place in space-time. Quantum theory describes just using the term quantum theory over and over again doesn't necessarily make it so. Quantum theory describes a universe based not on causality and determinism, but on probability and indeterminism, in which processes are discontinuous and instantaneous signals can be exchanged. Strange paradoxes arise if quantum and relativistic approaches are applied simultaneously. For example, a single quanta can be passed through a screen with holes in it. Relativistic measuring techniques can readily confirm that the quanta went through one hole or the other. However, quantum measuring techniques will readily confirm that half the probability wave of the single quanta went through each hole, rather that after having passed through the screen, the quanta seems to have two histories of equal probability, and that both seem to have given rise to the final result. Ooh. Where's my highlighter? Holy crap. Morning, everyone. Out on phone while I do some laundry at the laundromat. Oh. We are breaking out into Liber Chaos by Peter Carroll, which is super crunchy. But I would like to talk about that concept for a second. The idea that, so there are multiple universes, right? So it's such a big concept. I'm trying to put it into words. The thing that it says is that, okay, space and time can go through a screen, like holes in a screen. It goes through one hole. but it doesn't go through one hole, it goes through two holes. And when it goes through two holes, it taps into probability, and the result of both of those holes comes to one result. So kind of like Rick and Morty kind of like touched on it a little bit. With the multiple universes where the end result is the same, but how they get there is a little bit different. Right. Okay. I think I'm going to save this for my own reading. I think it is best if I save that for my own reading. I'm going to go upstairs and look for another book that would be appropriate for you guys. Oh. I always assumed every possibility happens just in different time in the universe. Every possibility happens in different time and universe. Yes, that is basically the concept. How they get there might differ, but the end result is the same. I always interpreted multiple universes like the substance of reality flowing through a prism of probability that results in different forms of existence sitting side by side. But the end result is the same. So maybe it goes through the prism, refracts around a lot, and then comes out one stream. Craziness. All right, I'm thinking this is going to be our next book. I always assumed the outcomes were different. The outcomes are the same. Unless you mean entropy or death as the end result. So entropy is a meta concept in and of itself, in that it is both probability and also decay. Right? And it's not so much that death is the end result. Like how I acquire a cup of coffee. Right? How I go about acquiring my cup of coffee might differ. Maybe I use a French press, maybe I use the Keurig, maybe I stick it in the microwave. However, I end up with a cup of coffee. However, in other universes, those alternate sources happen. But in all the universes, the result is the same. I still end up with a cup of coffee. That radically changes what would... Hold on. Let me try this again. It conflicts with my grasp of reality that radical changes would ultimately still lead to the same result. Yeah. So just that one paragraph, right, is like batshit crazy. Right? Although that could be wishful thinking on my part on what constitutes as parallel reality. Oh, that's an interesting concept. So, in what universe would it be possible that I would have the time to use a French press? Would that be like every morning I'm here for the reading of books, right? But what I do up to that point is going to differ in each day, in each universe. But in the end, in all universes, I'm going to be present for the thing. Now, whether I smoke or not is a factor. Whether I sleep in or not is a factor. You know, like there are definitely factors that would differ in each universe. And one of them could be an apocalypse that I have to fend off mutant dogs or something like. But the end result is I'm here reading books. The Grimoire for the Green Witch by Anne Mora, a complete book of shadows. This is her own personal book of shadows. This is a facsimile. God damn. All the words that I'm struggling with today. This is a facsimile, a duplicate of my own book of shadows and grimoire, presented as myself use it with a book of rituals and a book of spells. The first portion contains the basic craft information and a variety of rituals that begin with a circle casting, proceed to a ritual, return to a simple feast called cakes and wine, and end with the circle opening. The second portion contains the information and formats for spell casting, tarot and other divinations, and herbal teas, oils, and baths. There are also a number of lists of correspondences, spell crafting information, some spells, and a bit of astrology. The Grimoire and Book of Shadows. This Grimoire and Book of Shadows is presented for 3 different types of readers. The first are those who have read my books on family craft, but who did not, for whatever reason, put together a personal Book of Shadows utilizing the material discussed in these books. So this is assuming that you have a BOS. I guess we've all been fed the idea that multiple realities are a result of small changes that result in big changes, rather than all roads lead to the same destination. Oh, like the butterfly effect, right? You've been drinking the punch of the butterfly effect? That a butterfly beating its wings in South America can cause tornadoes in Japan and whatnot. For such, this two-part grimoire may be a culmination of your studies taken from these books. There's a lot of books. Really big on green witchcraft. Green Witchcraft, Green Witchcraft 2, Green Witchcraft 3, and Green Magic, Sacred Connection to Nature. Jesus. Yeah, just like that, although that's something of a hyperbolic example. Yeah, I know what you mean. The second type of reader is one who has studied the craft and perhaps has been a practitioner for a period of time, but who would like to possess a clean copy of a valid grimoire and Book of Shadows with space in it for additional information and personal insights. The third type of reader is the novice, the newcomer who is still seeking a craft path, but who desires to have a complete Book of Shadows in hand as a reference and guide to help make sense of what is being studied from other books. For this person, there is room for new notes and for growth. No matter where you are in your journey, I encourage you to continue to read from a variety of sources about the craft so that you can select what is right for yourself, trusting in the divine as they speak to you and influence your intuition. This book is designed to be used as I use my own Book of Shadows. Prior to performing any ritual, you need to review what you are going to do. Use bookmarkers or ribbons to keep your place in each section as you proceed, so that the first is the circle casting of your choice, the second is the ritual being observed, the third and others in any of the optional additions of the ritual, such as recitations, meditations, divinations, or spells. By marking your place, you should be able to flip easily to the next section as indicated. And so it's like you need a bunch of bookmarks. I'll probably dog ear my pages. My girlfriend, who is also a witch, she's very much so a light and sunny witch, light worker sort of lady. She was reading this book and was like, big bag of nope. And she checked out, but I'm still trying to figure out what that section is that she noped out of. Let's see. By marking your places, you should be able to flip easily. Circle castings will state to proceed to the ritual or observance, and that is when you leave the marker in that position and turn to the next marker of the ritual, such as an esbat or sabat. In this section, there will be an indicator to proceed to any spell work, meditation, etc., and this is when you leave the second marker and turn to the next. Here you may have recitation or meditation of your choice, or a reaffirmation of oath as part of a sabbat as an example. And when you finish it, there will be words directing you back to the sabbat ritual to resume where you left off. When you finish the ritual, there will be words directing you back to the cakes and wine of the circle casting, followed by the circle opening. This tradition of using place markers and moving from one section to another is familiar to many religions, and their catechism books and liturgical books. Yeah, tongue twisters. But here they are presented for solitary practice with indications of how to adjust for family or group practices. Experiment with the Book of Shadows, flip through the pages, and familiarize yourself with the information and the arrangement. There are pages at the end of each section for your own editions or those of your family. The first page states that this Book of Shadows is bestowed on and leaves a space. Oh, yes, it does. The question is, do I use my witch name like an idiot? Or do I use Sako Tumi? The first page states that this Book of Shadows is bestowed on and leaves a space for you for your craft name. Yeah. I'm handing to you my practice to carry on and individualize according to your own personal needs and intuition. Yeah, which name it is. Which I never came up with a last name. Always ever had the first name. There is a lot of information here, but it is not in sentence form for this book. For this is a working book of shadows rather than a discussion or teaching type of book. It is my hope that it serves you as your own grimoire, allowing you to jump into the craft with both feet and grow as you learn. Put your trust in the god and goddess, and they will not let you down. The beginning is important, and my creed, rules of conduct, and the witch's reed are foundation upon which a practice is built. Change the creed as you develop your own, but never the rules or the reed. Oh, okay. The creed is the personal perspective of what your craft means to you, but the latter two are the core of all witchcraft. The reed is the basis of Wiccan traditions. The rules have come to me unchanged through 3 generations that I know of from 1890, have been passed to a 4th, and then are now laid before you. Yeah, your witchy name is also only one name, no last. Yeah. Think not that any secrets have been given away here, or that any oaths have been violated, for nature has no secrets, but is open and free to anyone who have the will to explore, listen, observe, and learn. And at the end of my rituals, I say, as I have received, may I offer food to the body, mind, and spirit to those who seek such of me. By taking this Book of Shadows into your hands, you are accepting from me that which you seek, food for your body, mind, and spirit. Take and use that which appeals to you. Change or alter things that you feel you should, and add your own entries in the blank pages provided for this purpose, for a Book of Shadows and Grimoire grows with each generation. Let this book be a guide for you as you walk along your own path and with the goddess and the god. May your craft flourish in joy. May the divine inspire you, and blessed be thy feet that bring thee on thy path. The Book of Shadows of Aumiel. Here we go. Creed of the Green Witch. Sacred tradition of green witchcraft. So that is the intro to the Grimoire, the Green Witch. It is a Wiccan book. Oh. Cool. The meditations are really interesting. Spellcrafts. Oh, the Witch's Sigil Wheel. Creating a spell or charm. Yeah, this is super Wiccan. Making different smudges, which they don't offer rosemary, which is really interesting. Not going to read the dictionary stuff. Miscellaneous symbols, planetary squares, preordained sigils, basic spells. Divinations. Cool. I think this is starting to sound like one of those absurdly long terms of service contracts that result in ending up as a part of a human centipede. Yeah, maybe a little bit. That human centipede being Wicca. So this is what we're going to be reading. Which should make some certain people happy. Though this isn't for beginners, I wonder if I should get the beginner book and use that tomorrow. Well, thank you guys for joining me today, as scattered as it was. I didn't realize we were at the end of the Witch's Book of Self-Care. The Psychic Witch, I think, is upstairs. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, we can talk about how to pick your witchy name. Pretty sure I have a thing on naming in my POS, or in my Grimoire, rather. I'd be willing to stay a little bit longer to help you come up with a name. You don't have to tell me what it is, but I can tell you, like, what you would go, because there's power in names. So, like, not a soul knows my name. Not a soul. So I will often write it in other languages just to make it so that people can't read it. It was my first experience in organized paganism, which is weird because my mother named one of our dogs when I was growing up Wicca. Oh, that's weird. Naming. Rules, inks, spells, holy days, languages. I know I have it. I think I have it in here twice, in fact. Oh, here we go. So find your birth number. Here we go. Find your birth number by adding the digits of your date of birth. For instance, I was born May 15, 1982. So it would be 5 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 2, which is 31. Add those together until it comes to one digit, which is 4. So my numerology number is 4. And then find a name, number of the name you have chosen. So there's like this chart. I might come up with a last name today. That might be a thing I do. Here, let me find the chart. Wicca naming chart. This has a bunch of goofy shit in it, but it's right. Copy image address. There you go, darling. So each of the letters, let me see. See page 44 for their... I'm pretty sure I have names in here twice, which I didn't put in my... Yeah, here we go. Find the name. Suppose your chosen name is Diana. So Diana is 4 plus 9 plus 1 plus 5 plus 1, which equals 20, which is 2. Yeah, I did it in as many languages as I could come up with. Okay, laundry almost done, so I'm making turtle tracks. Good journey, everyone. Good journey. Thank you all for joining me today. If you like this video at any point, please hit the like button. If you would like to see what else is in this book, Wiccan Book of Green Magic, then please hit the subscribe button and maybe even ring that bell to personalized on the off chance that YouTube will actually alert you when I go live. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.